Hello and welcome to Tyke 18. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to use nested gallery inside PowerApps. If you look at into this example here, right now we have this category and subcategory on the left side and product list on the right side. If I select something here on this one, if I expand this clothing for example, then it expands to the subcategory of clothing, and then if I again click on any of this subcategory, then on the right side I'm able to see this product list here. Not only that, I have also added here on the top what is the category and subcategory is selected here, as well as I have just highlighted the values which is showing up here. Like I have selected the main category as clothing, it is highlighted in light blue and bold in color. For the subcategory, it is just highlighted the subcategory. Similarly, if I just click on any other thing, then it's open up the subcategory for the bikes, and if I again click on any of this one, then I'm able to see the list of products to this one. And also, if you don't want to show anything here, you just want to collapse everything, then you can just click it again, then you are able to see just the name of the category. And if I want to expand something else, then you can expand from here. So this is all about how you can make use of nested gallery, and we are going to explain that the expand and collapse options in this video. If you are new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Now let's get started. What are the things which we need for this is basically there are multiple gallery options which we have in PowerApps. So for the category, the main category, we need the blank flexible height gallery, and for subcategory we need the vertical gallery, and for the product list I'm using right now the data table. We can also use gallery for that, and also we need to have use of labels for showing up the names here, and also the icons for navigation options. So now let's get started how I have done here. So first of all, the main thing is we need to add the data source here. I'm not going to show you the thing how you need to add the data source, but logically you just click on the data tab here, which is coming up here. If I expand this, you can see data here, and here you need to click on add here and then search for your data. For example, I'm using here the OneDrive. If you click on OneDrive, this is for the personal account and this is for the business account. You can click here and then you can select your file. If it is your SQL server, then you can also select the SQL server from this list here. And then you need to give all your credentials, and then so that you can add the tables in this list. So once you do so, here in the tree view, you get the list of the screens here. So basically what you need to do here is, if I just again click on the tree view and expand these options, let's collapse this. And here you can see I have added this gallery here, which is the main category, and inside to that I have added one more gallery which is for the subcategory. So this is easy, just you can just add gallery inside gallery, but the way how the functionality works and also the highlighting, that's a little bit tricky part. So first of all, you click here and then you need to add into the items of this gallery as a dim product category, or yeah, you can just need to add up here. Let me add a new page here. I'm adding a blank page here, and here I'm going to add insert gallery, which is basically I want to add the blank flexible height gallery or just the flexible height gallery. If you do click on the flexible height gallery, it's actually populating few default like the labels and images to this one. If you don't want anything, you want to add it yourself everything manually, then you don't need to add this one. You can just make use of insert blank flexible vertical height gallery. So here it is giving you option to select the source. I'm going to select this as a category, product category here. If I click here, then it's going to show add here. It's not going to add any value here, because if you look into this here, screen 2 and gallery 2, we don't have anything inside to the gallery. It's a blank gallery, so we need to add the labels to that, and also we need to add the icons to that. So insert, select this gallery and click on insert and then text label. So you see it is added outside of this gallery, which is not the one what we are looking for. So Control Z, I just want to undo this, select this gallery again and click here insert and then click on text label. So now it is added a label inside to this here gallery 2 and label 3, right? And also you can see there are numbers are added here by default, and this label has assigned to this product category key automatically. So I also need this product category key, so I will keep this as it is, and then I will just copy and paste Ctrl C and Ctrl V so that I can also add the name here. So after doing that, on the address bar of the text field of this label, you can just this item dot, which is basically this gallery, and then I need to select this product category name. So now it's showing up this value here. And the next thing what I need to add here is icon. So basically you can click insert here, and then if you look for icons here, you will get the list of icons here. You can select whatever you want to add here, but if you really find it hard to find out, it's basically up and down arrow. You can just search for the down arrow just to expand those options. So I'm selecting this option. So I have this here. I will just add up this thing here. That's good. So on the right side, we have this property of each and every control. So here I have selected this option about this icon. So this showing up the properties for the icons here. Now I need to add one more gallery, which is for the subcategory. So insert here, and here I'm going to just use the vertical gallery, or we can also use a blank vertical gallery to add the details by ourselves. So I'm clicking the blank vertical gallery itself, and you see it is actually added gallery 3 inside to the gallery 2 itself. So now I just need to select this for the initial phase. To show up the data, I'm going to select this dim product subcategory itself, and then we'll go step by step to that. So I have added this dim product subcategory inside to this, and I'm just going to realign this a bit so that I can able to see the information here. Now let me just realign again, and now click on this gallery, the gallery 3. Basically, let me go back here, and now I'm clicking on this gallery 3 and click on insert, and then click on text label. It is now adding up inside to this second gallery. If you just go back to this tree view, now you can see a label has been added inside to this gallery 3. So this is by default is giving us subcategory key. Basically I just need to rename this one. This is to be product subcategory key. I also need this category, so let me just realign it to the right side so that we can differentiate between the category key and this subcategory key. And I'm just copy and paste this label and just realign this to be show up here. And here instead of subcategory, I just want to add subcategory name here. So subcategory name, so it's showing up here. Now I don't need this much of space from here, so I can just reduce the space here. And now you see it's showing up same value for everything. So it is because it is not being filtered to this one. Now if you go back to this one, what I have done here in previously, so this is the main category, and now we have this subcategory. If you click on this one, under the items in this exercise, we just have this as an initial phase. But actually what we need to do here, we just need to filter this subcategory based on the product key for this one. So let me just show you how it actually works. So if I go back to this gallery and select this one, and right now this is dim category, and if I use the filter function, it is case sensitive in PowerApps, so you just need to make sure you use a proper case. So this is filter, and now you see it is actually asking for the source and then logical test. So the source is dim product category subcategory itself, and here I just need to mention about the product category key to filter this one. So I'm selecting dim product category key. So this is the column which is available on the subcategory, and this should be equal to the label which is available here. So right now I think this is label 3_1. So I will use label 3_1 dot text for this one. So whatever text we have, it's going to filter on that. So actually label 3_1 is the name of the category. So we are actually we need to filter the key for this. So we need to use just 3, label 3, which is basically this dim category key. And if I just close this bracket, and now you see it is bikes is filtered to these bikes and component is filtered to other things, right? So this is what actually we need. So as right now you have just noticed that I was just a little bit confused about because of just the naming of the label. So it is the best practice to just rename every control whatever we are going to use in our development process here. So let me just quickly rename this here, gallery subcategory 2, and this is gallery and this is for gallery category 2. This is for real. So right now I just quickly renamed to this one. I have given here gallery category 222 is because I am already using this other screen, so single name is not going to have accept on one single app. So you just need to keep different name for the different screens to that. So this is screen 2, and so I'm just referring this to 222 here. So these are the controls what we have right now, and this is the main category and this is the subcategory. Now the thing is, we need to add expand and collapse features for these things, right? So what we'll do, the product, how we need to show the product, we'll focus on now before going into this expand and collapse feature, because that's a kind of additional requirement. But ideally the logic is we need to select the category, it has to show subcategory, and when we select subcategory it has to show the product name here. So clicking on the insert here and then click on the data table, for example, and then I'm going to select the dim product as a default for the initial thing. And after that, as this is the data table, so I just need to click on the fields on the right side, select here and add field. I just need to select whatever I know it. I just need a product key, product name, and then the model name or color. Just 3 columns for now, and click on OK. And this is going to load all this information, and now I can see all the data tables from here. So now the thing is, like how we did for this subcategory, like we have applied the filter, and then this is the product category key equal to this key. Similarly, we had to do the same thing for the category for the product as well. So selecting on to this one, on the items of this data table we have dim product. So I just need to apply the same logic, which is filter. For the source is dim product, and here this has to be subcategory key, which is the column from this one. Product subcategory key is equal to LBL subcategory key 2. So you see, it is actually showing up all the controls from all the pages here, all the screens. So that's why we need to name things as per the screen. So as I refer to this 222 for the screen 2, so this is I'm selecting label 2 key 2, I mean LBL subcategory key 2 dot text. So if you just go back to this my previous screen, so just to reference this one, if I click here, and here right now it is showing up dim product filter. So here I have applied a different logic. The reason for this is basically, this is a nested gallery. Right now what we see on the left side is nested gallery. So when we select something, it's going to expand that value. So that's the reason that works. But for this one, it's not going to work. So we just need to create a collections for that. So what I have done here is basically, if you just go inside to this subcategory 2, and then if you click on this one, I just created a collections. I made a separate video on the collections in my channel. If you haven't seen that, please go and check out that video as well. So here what I use the same logic, but I actually applied to a collection, and that collection is been assigned to this data table, right? If you see, it's the same logic here. It's just a matter of using the select collection. So if I just go back to my screen, this is a dim product subcategory, and now I need to add one more icons inside to this one. So selecting to this one and click insert, and then I just need to use the left arrow. So I'm clicking on the left, sorry, it has to be right arrow. So clicking on the right here. So we have added this right arrow here. I just want to align it to be on the right side, and here by default it will be like select parent. So I just want to comment this one. We are not going to use this. Instead of that, I am going to use the collection one. So I am creating a collections here. If you see here, dim product filtered, that's the collections. Clear collect means it will clear that collection, and then it's going to add up that value inside to that. So here instead of this one, we need to use this label subcategory key 2 for this. Rest everything is fine. So this dim product filter has to be assigned to this data table. So now if I just run this application, right now you see it's blank here, and if I click on the road bikes, okay, let's have a look into the collections. If I select here and go to collections, dim product filter, now you can see the value showing up here, but it's not being shown up here. So let's remove this particular data table, and if I click on insert here, add a new data table, and here I'm going to assign the collection dim product filtered one, and after that edit fields, let me just add fields here, I just need a product key, product name and color, and click on add. So you see the values are showing up here, and we just need to realign this a bit. Let's close this one and just realign this here. Now if I run this application again, and if I select this touring bike, you see it's filtered 0 and it's showing up value now. Road bikes also, it's showing up some different value. For the handless, it's showing up a different value. So on clicking on this one, this is going to show us the value of the list of products. So far so good, the requirement. Now it just matter about the expand, collapse and the highlighting options. So for this one, let's go back to our previous screen. If I click here, and now we have these two options. So here what I have just used is two actually arrow buttons. One is the down arrow just to expand, and another is the up arrow just to collapse this one. So it's basically it is hiding those two features. If you look into this one, I'm just using a variable here. I'm declaring a variable which is on selecting this button. I'm using this select parent, which it has to select the parent value, and then update context in a variable expand gallery equal to true. So I'm just assigning this one. So when this value is true, and if we just look into the visible property of this button, so what I have selected here is on the visible property of this button, if this item product category key is equal to gallery.selected.product category key, then it has to be false, or else it has to be true. True means show, false means hide. So if you see, this is apostrophe here, so that's the reason it's false actually. If it is true, then it's converted into false. So I have added one more icons to this one. If you see here, we have this expand as well as one more icon which is for the collapse. It is not actually visible here, but it's there. So it's actually the reverse way I have applied the same logic for this. If I click on to this one, let me just run this one and just expand to this one, because we can able to select only for the top row. So click here, and now we have icon expand, and here also I am just assigning this variable into false. And if I click on visible property, on this visible property, if this item.product category key equal to gallery category.selected.product category key, then it has to be this value, which is expand or collapse, true or false. So that's why it's showing up here. And now this looks a little bit different because of the layout. If I run this application, then it will work fine. So the reason for this is, let me just expand to this one and go back here. And now you see this gallery is nothing, everything is fine. But for the second gallery, the nested gallery, in the height property of this one, because it has to expand and collapse, right? So because of that, we need to go to height property of the second gallery, and here this has to be if this item.product category key equal to this one, then I am going to assign manually as 175 the height of this second gallery. If it is not, then it has to be 0. That's why it is actually expanding and collapsing based on my selections from the main category. And the next thing is the highlighting options. So I selected the first label on the main category, and then if I click on this color options onto this one, here I have written a formula. Again, it's the same thing. If this item.product category key is equal to gallery category.selected.product category key, then it has to be this color. If it is not, then it has to be the white background. So that's what we have assigned here. And also similarly, I used it on the font, which is the bold for this one. Here we have this font size and the font weight. In the font weight also, I'm just using the same logic, and here I'm using the bold and then normal to this one. So that's why if it is selected, then it is showing up in a bold and the highlighted, and if it is not selected, it's showing up regular font and not as a background color. So this item.product category key, so basically refers to the particular every cell of this one, is equal to gallery category.selected.product category key. If both of them matches, then it's going to apply this logic. If it is not matching, then it's not going to apply this logic. So that's how it actually works. So based on this logic itself, if I run this application again, and if I expand these options, it's going to expand this, and if I click on this one, it's going to filter those values here. So this is how it is possible to do this kind of nested gallery, expand and collapse features to that, and also highlighting of the background to this one. If you want to add more features to this, please let me know in the comment section below. I really enjoyed making of this video. If you like this video, just hit the like button. If you are new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. But make sure to turn on the notification on your devices. Share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any queries and feedback, just post it on the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. See you in the next video.